Welcome to the B&B Lawn Care Podcast. I'm Blake Albertson. Today, we're going to be talking about the first two people to hire in your lawn and landscape business. Talking about a huge, tax mistake that I made in April, actually, and I'm paying for it now in January of 2020, almost a year later. We're going to talk all about that. It's a penalty, cost me money, just silly mistake that will happen to you, by the way. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Be sure to leave us a like on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, B&B Lawn Care. Today's podcast is actually sponsored by my friends over at Almond. I got this sweet Almond cup. Guys, if you're looking for a software for your lawn and landscape business, it's 2020, man. I've never had a CRM, a customer relationship management software. Never had anything to help support my business. Only thing I've used was QuickBooks, which I'm still going to be using QuickBooks alongside Almond. Guys, check it out. You can set up a free account. I'll leave a link down in the description below. We've been working with them for a few months now, onboarding my business onto the software. Really loving it so far, so make sure you guys check that out, and I hope you guys enjoy the episode. Let me tell you real quickly about this tax mistake that I made, because I know a lot of people are going to be wondering. And listen, when I come out with stuff like this, like a problem that I've made or anything along those lines, I always get those comments and those people, they're like, dude, see, he doesn't even know what he's talking about. He shouldn't be making these mistakes. Like, if you say that or hear somebody say that, it's ridiculous. It's literally ridiculous. Everybody makes mistakes. You or them, they don't have the perfect company. Nobody is perfect. Nobody has the perfect business. Nobody has everything figured out. Like, it's not the reality, man. So when I come out with a problem that I've made, a mistake that I've made, it is solely to help you. It shouldn't discredit me. You know what I mean? Like, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like, literally the only reason I'm telling you this is because it was an honest mistake that I made, and it's something that could easily happen to you. And let me tell you what it was. So, about a month ago, I think it was late December. Like, dude, we're talking in the middle of the babies were just born. The babies are in the hospital in the NICU. My twins, if you didn't know. And it was a busy time, man. And we were cleaning out some stuff. I was getting my office ready in the basement since we rearranged the whole house. Every room got rearranged besides our bedroom. And I built an office and this little podcast area in my basement. And I was going through some of my tax forms and my filing cabinet, things like that, just trying to get a little bit more organized, a little bit more cleaned up. And I came across 3 or 4 forms. And I get from my accountant a ton of tax stuff. I mean, they do all my forms. They even write out my envelopes, like the addresses and who to file them with and things like that. So all I have to do is write the checks, sign the forms, put them in, and put them in the mailbox, which is, like, dude, such a huge convenience and a huge deal. And it's a major part of this podcast right today. But I came across these forms, and they were dated for quarter 1 of 2019. So it had been, 3 quarters since then. It was quarter 4 of 2019. And it's been a long time, man. It was like 9-10 months. And I was freaking out. I was, like, literally freaking out. And it was late at night. It was like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And I was scared to death, dude. I was like, what is going to... And listen, like, dude, I had so much going on. I was super tired, exhausted. And anytime I get run down like that, my mind just freaks itself out. And so the next day, I think it was actually part of a holiday, like a little holiday, not Christmas or anything. I would never call him on this, but I called my accountant. He answered, and I was like, man, I found these 4 tax forms, 3 or 4, I can't remember. These 4 tax forms from quarter 1 I didn't owe any money. It was just, I don't even know what they were, dude. But like it said zero amount owed is $0. All I had to do was fill out the forms and send them in. He's like, oh yeah, dude, send them in now, like as soon as possible. So I sent them in, and I'm like, cool, okay, don't have to worry about it. Then I sent in all my other tax stuff for my Q4 payroll taxes, like my quarterly estimates, all that junk. And I received something a couple days ago. It was a penalty for $185 and like 45 cents or something, 44 cents. And literally, because though, and that's just the first one, I might get penalized on the other three. And it was the most honest mistake, because I literally fill out, I think, probably 15 tax forms and things like that, and send in some with checks, and some are just the forms that you have to file every quarter. So like for 3 or 4 to slip under my radar, you know, it happened. So of course it's likely. I really honestly can't remember them. I don't remember any of it. So they must have just been hidden under something that I did not figure it out. So I got penalized almost $200. And is it the end of the world? No. But, you know, you do something where you actually owed money, and it could be a big deal. That was off of $0 I owe them. It was just a penalty for filing late. So imagine what it would be if you owed them thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of dollars, whatever it would be. Like if you don't pay a quarterly estimate, or your end of year, what you owe the IRS, I mean, the penalties and the interest is outrageous, dude. And so this is just a reminder, which leads us into a great topic about the first 2 people you need to hire in your business. Now, a lot of people in the lawn care community have been talking about hiring people, which is a great conversation, and it's a great topic. Some have been right. Some have been a little bit off and wrong. Like I said, nobody's perfect. We're all learning. We're all making mistakes and learning from those mistakes. Florida Lawn Pro probably had the best video that I've found on this topic. Just about when to 1099 people, when are they a subcontractor, or when are they a W-2 employee. All the people that work for me, I just sent out W-2s this week. They're all on payroll. It's very expensive. It's ridiculous. It's super expensive. 100% the most expensive part of my business. And so the first 2 people to hire, and this might trick you out a little bit, the first person to hire is, of course, the right-hand man, which you probably have heard. It's what a lot of people preach in this industry, is you need to find the right-hand man, the guy that's going to show up, the guy that's reliable, the guy that does good quality work, the guy that you can trust to drive the truck, to mow the grass, to trim and edge and look over everything and make sure that he's going to be performing in the exact same, well, not exact same, but performing into your standards, you know, doing as good quality work as he possibly can, and making sure later down the road when he starts, you know, driving the truck and managing a crew, that he is going to, you know, make sure the yards are looking the same way as if you were there, you know, that everybody's doing their job and everybody, you know, the same quality's there. And so that guy is going to be difficult to find. They are out there. I've had probably 3 or 4 of them in my life. Yeah, it's beautiful. The problem is that kind of employee is, one, expensive, because you want to do anything you possibly can to hold on to that employee. So you're going to have to pay, man. You're going to have to put some practices in your business that make him want to stay and make him feel, appreciated and things like that. So the right-hand man, hard to find. It's going to be a little bit like, let's say the average in your area for somebody trimming, like just a normal laborer, is, I don't know, $11, $12. Somebody running your crew, is going to be more expensive than that. Maybe $16 to $23 or whatever. It changes when you're doing landscaping, when you're doing hardscaping, when you're doing lawn care, things like that. Those are just rough numbers, dude. And literally it changes city by city. Crazy. Like, it changes all the time from region to region, to state to state, to city, things like that. So do some research in your area. And the second person and listen, this is coming from somebody that's heard stories from Caleb Almond with Almond Landscaping. Heard the stories of, dude, tons of guys in this industry that have been audited. And, Caleb Almond, I have an interview coming up, this month with Caleb about his, business and his tax problems. And it, he went belly up in his first business because of tax problems. So the very first person, the second person that I suggest people hiring is a good accountant. And I like local people. You guys know that. I know there's like H&R Block and those big tax firms, but I don't want to just be a number somewhere. Like, this is my business. This is my money, my life. I want somebody that I can call on the phone, like this week when I said, dude, I got this tax thing. What do I do? Well, this is why you have to pay this. Go ahead and pay it. I scanned and faxed them the form so they can put this into my file. This is where a good accountant comes in. And I'm not telling you the name. I don't want to say the name of my tax guy. But just look up local tax, accountants and tax preparers or whatever. But you need somebody to call. And so I fax it in. They put that as a part of my file. They have everything tax related, every expense, everything in my file there. So any problem that arises, we have everything documented at my house. We have everything documented at my accountant's office. And so they put that in the file. And so when I pay this, let's say a year from now, they come back and say, hey, Blake, now it's $400 because you never paid us. Well, now we have it documented. Hey, actually, I did pay it. This is when I paid it. Here's the forms. Here's the check. Boom, bada. We're done. We don't have to worry about it. So big deal to have an accountant because you don't know everything. The tax forms are super, super complex. I don't know what I file. I don't know where the stuff's even made up from. I don't even understand the numbers on the forms. I do a little bit just so I can look over everything, make sure that everybody's doing it correctly. All the numbers are as right as I think they are, and if the accountants, if they think it's right, then we're all good. But I don't understand it. I literally don't even know where I would start. So the money that I pay them is so minimal to what they do. I mean, I'll give you rough numbers. Off the top of my head, it's probably $1,000 a year. Maybe a little low. Maybe I don't know exactly, but it's not what you would think. Like when you hear the word accountant, like hiring an accountant, you think like super expensive and somebody you can call any day of the year for a question like that somebody that knows everything about your business and all the numbers and things. You would think it'd be super expensive. I don't think that's that bad. To make sure that I'm not getting audited and that I'm, doing everything correctly. And so hiring a good accountant, definitely the second person I would hire. Everybody asks the question of, when do I pay taxes? This is where it's hard to listen to somebody from YouTube or from iTunes or wherever you listen to this, because I cannot tell you when to pay them. Because one, that's I'm not legally licensed for that. But two, I don't want to give you bad advice, and I don't want to get you in trouble. I would say the as soon as you can. Okay, if you're doing 2 yards, push mowing them, neighbor Susie and neighbor whoever, listen, like, you're going to pay whatever, 20% income taxes on those 2 properties. Like, that doesn't even make sense. I don't even know if you're actually legally, I think it's like $600 or $800 a year or something you can make before paying income taxes. But listen, let me tell you, the year that I got up to like 15, 20 yards is when I started paying taxes. Like, I think the year before that, like, literally had nothing. Like, nothing, dude. Like, in the grand scheme of the world, I had nothing. I wasn't making anything, wasn't making squat, so it didn't matter. But the year where I'm like, okay, all right, this year is going to be a good year. Let me talk to this tax guy. Let me build a relationship with somebody. And it all worked out because I got to build a relationship from very early on. I was already making some mistakes, but I didn't come in 5 years when I'm making $100,000 and go to this guy and just say, hey, fix all of my problems, take all of my problems away. He would have been like, what are you talking about? You're nuts, dude. That's not going to happen. I can't do that. Or you're going to owe the guy $20,000 to take 6 months out of his life to reorganize the last 5 years. That's why I suggest people to get this stuff figured out early. And because you don't want to go on the wrong track of your business. Like, okay, you don't want to start your business. The next year you're making $20,000. Then you go up to $60,000. Springtime hits. You guys are busy. Summer, busy. Then, July, August comes. You're a little bit slowed down, but you're like, we need to work on the truck. We need to work on the trailer, blah, blah, blah. And then fall, leaves, winter, snow. Then it comes around to April, and you're like, dude, we made $100,000 last year, or whatever number. We didn't even file anything last year. What do we do? Well, you're going to have to hire an accountant. It's going to cost a lot of money because they're going to go back through the last year, file all of these, I don't know if they call them appeals or what it is, but these late tax forms, calculate your penalty plus interest plus what you owed. Then you're going to have to pay the accountant for your time, or for their time. It's going to be a mess, and it's going to cost you a lot of money, dude. And that is the beginning of tax problems. And if you let that go over another year, I mean, dude, this is serious stuff, and it's so frustrating. It's so not pleasant. It's not fun. To this day, this week, I've been, filling out everything, writing all these checks. It's the dead of winter. I just had 2 kids, literally dead of winter. It's February. I think it's the last day of January or something. So it's about to be February, the worst month of the year as far as income. That's why people get depressed, because I don't have any income coming in February. So, like, the way I see it is like we're jets, like engines going on a plane, and then February hits and we're just engines off, we're out of gas, baby, and we just have to glide and hope that March comes and just boosts us back up into the sky. That's how I see it. And now I have to pay all these taxes. Like, it seems like it's so silly and sucks. And what are you going to do? Call the ambulance? Figure stuff out. This is why knowing your numbers and having a budget and having a tax account, like I preach to people, That's why all this is so important. That is why starting a tax account when you start getting paid in March is so important. That is why being diligent through springtime and summertime when money's flowing, baby, that you're peeling off some of that cash into a tax account. It's for times in February when you get all of these tax forms and all of these payments that have to be sent to the IRS, to the state, to the city. It sucks. I hate writing the checks. I hate it. But I have the money. The money's there. I don't have to sweat about it. I don't have to sweat about making the mortgage payment. I don't have to do it, okay? Because that stuff was set up from years of mistakes, from years of saying, I don't have the money, to now I know that in March, I have to be putting that money into a tax account. I have to, because it's part of my budget now. It's part of my business. It's part of just my philosophy in life. So hire a good right-hand man, a good tax guy that you can call any day of the week. I would literally, when you're looking for these people, when you're meeting with your accountant for the first time, I would say, listen, what happens when I have a tax question? Can I call you guys and get it answered like that? I want them to, this is, I think I heard like a stockbroker, your bank, your accountant, and like your doctor or something always needs to pick up the phone. If you're handling your health, or if you're handling my health, my family's health, or my money, you need to answer the phone. So if I have a tax question, I need it answered. Like that day, that second I call. It's just the plain truth. What is a good accountant is somebody that you can call. You don't have to worry about them getting upset with you for calling and asking a tax question. So that is it for the podcast. I hope you guys got something out of that. My name's Blake Albertson with B&B Lawn Care. Guys, if you enjoyed the show, please, please, please follow us on YouTube at B&B Lawn Care, Instagram at BB Lawn Care KC, at TikTok at BB Lawn Care KC. Huge news in TikTok, by the way. But that's for the next time. So have a great rest of your day, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace. Thank you for listening to the B&B Lawn Care Podcast with Blake Albertson. If you enjoyed today's show, please leave us a review on iTunes. Follow us on YouTube at B&B Lawn Care and on Instagram at BB Lawn Care KC. Thank you guys so much for listening and have a wonderful day.